Down in the deep south, folks spin tales about the Grand Tapestry, an invisible weave holding our world together. They say the Grand Tapestry is torn by folk sorrows, and these damaged threads give rise to the evil spirits called Haints, a weaver, gifted with the power to reach into the past and mend folks' deep wounds.
South of Midnight is an interesting game. The story tries to deal with hurt and the stigma surrounding it. There's a metaphor of using a bottle to put emotions in it. Not too unlike one of my favorite animated movies, Song of the Sea, where people who are deeply hurt give up their feelings and keep them locked away. Every major plot point in this game deals with a different type of hurt. There's a hurricane brewing as Hazel packs her things and waits for her mama who's running late, but that's typical of her, leaving Hazel all by her lonesome, all because of her work.
I was over here all alone.
I'm sorry, I know. I swung by the shelter because there was a leak in the roof.
But her mama ain't too worried. She trusts Hazel enough to take care of herself when she's not there.
What'd you say?
I said, and pack 'em light.
Pack a bag, then pack it light. Hey, pack your bags, then pack 'em light.
They're running short on time as Hazel gives her an attitude. Now there's nothing new with how her mama takes all the time in the world, letting it go to waste at the shelter.
Waste time?
That's not what I meant. It's just, you left me to prep for a hurricane by myself.
Oh, I thought you was grown.
Hazel mentions going to stay at Bunny as she has a hurricane-proof home, but her mom argued it's better to be at Jolene's church just like everyone else. She won't explain why, just that she has to trust her. Before then, Mama wants Hazel to check in with the neighboring folk to make sure they're weathering the storm okay.
We might need some help. I might need some help. While you're out helping everybody else.
Things get heated up as they begin to raise their voice, but Hazel takes a step out before things get too heavy.
Hazel! Everything I do for you.
Whatever.
Over at Mrs. Pearl's, she's invited in to have a nice meal as she vents about her frustrations with having a mom that's not there for her when she needs her. She's a hard worker, perhaps too hard of a worker. Rest isn't necessarily part of her vocabulary. It's not that she doesn't care about Hazel, just that she cares about everyone else too, always wanting to make sure no one gets left behind. As Mrs. Pearls brings out her dish, Hazel begins to question her about Bunny. Why does Mama not want to be around her? But she keeps her mouth shut.
Oh, Jesus.
Mama!
Hazel!
I can't lose you too! Hold on! Mama!
Hazel! Stop that!
Holy shit. What just happened?
And by some miracle, she's brought back to land as she was just drowning. Alrighty, off to figure out what in the world just happened. But first, to safety. So to Granny Bunny's mansion we go.
What was that?
On our way there,
Hey, Dad. Headed to your old place. Got no other options. I'm so scared for Mama. Dad, if you're up there, keep her safe.
at the mansion, Bunny's butler tries to stop us from taking refuge. Ain't that weird? We're in the middle of a catastrophic storm, and she's telling us to leave?
Came for help.
And we will. In the morning.
Sheesh, neglected? By her own grandma? Maybe Mom was right. We can't rely on Bunny for help. That is until Hazel mentions being able to see things in the air. Strands.
Lily,
Yes, ma'am?
clearly my granddaughter is not in her right mind right now. Afraid for her mother and all. Ready a guest room.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll take care of this.
In her dream, Hazel sees a strange man with a giant boar cart. He vanishes as we begin to see Mama.
Oh God, my baby boy. No, you're not gonna make it.
Mom, wake up!
After those spooky images, strange vines surround her door as white strands lead her to a hidden room. She finds a pair of weapons that are able to manipulate these strands, but the ominous vines begin to eat at the room. She finds the source and uses her new blaze to purify the darkness. The stigma. The area is clear for her to make her escape. If Granny Bunny is of no help, then Hazel's on this quest alone.
I don't need you. I never did.
But it's not safe outside. Whatever that stigma is, it's brought enemies. Once it's clear, she finds herself in a cave. There's another device, glowing blue for our attention. More specters pop up, one holding the very same item as she leads people to safety as they're being chased.
If you trust and listen, you will be free. You and your little one. Now come on.
She follows them to safety when she comes across something belonging to Mama.
It's so hard for me to not take my feelings home to Hazel afterwards. I want to shield her, but I just keep pushing her away.
I didn't know her work affected her so much. She can't hear me. What was all that anyway?
Right next to the giant peach, a voice calls for her. It's a giant talking fish, Weaver. Did he just call us a Weaver? And Mama? She pushes for more questions, but he won't answer until we help him fill up this bottle. With emotions, I guess? From the past? He tells us the strands are the connections of all things. When something goes wrong, corruption happens. We run into a man who's screaming at us to get out with our darn fangled witchy magic hoo-ha. But after calming him down with a talk, he mentions wanting to bottle something up. That's what he needed the bottle for, because something happened to his brother. We have to cure the corruption here, so this tree lets them go free. We're on a trip as visions of the past vent to us before we bottle them up.
And you're welcome to try bottling up the pain. But the roots of this trouble go deep.
Benji and his brother's troubles began when they were forced to move again. Their ma thought it best for Benji, who was bullied badly for being in his own world. But Rhubarb would not forgive him for uprooting their life. When the townsfolk caught wind of Benji's difference, they started throwing rocks at him and his brother. Rhubarb was not surprised. Bad people always prey on those who stand out. The bear trap was meant for Benji. There weren't no bears around here. To Rhubarb, it was proof that things was going to get a lot worse, just like last time. There was no escaping it. While Benji's love was as true as his heart, Rhubarb was tired of tending to his needs instead of showcasing what he could do. By this point, Rhubarb felt he had moved enough.
Oh, God. What did Rhubarb do?
Well, now, how curious. You shouldn't be here.
After she makes her escape from whatever that was, man, what a heartbreaker. I don't know about you, but Benji's story really got to me. Especially for someone who always wanted to feel connected to people, but would feel like he didn't fit in. And I wasn't prepared for this. But as Hazel climbs up the tree of Benji's spirit, an absolutely gut-wrenching song plays.
When Rhubarb said go inside the hollow tree for a game, Benji did it. Even when he was nailing the hollow shut, Benji trusted him. There must have been a moment when Rhubarb decided to leave him there. And a moment when Benji, trapped inside that tree, finally understood. He must have cried to the heavens. Somehow the tree took pity, and somehow Benji become the tree. But he'd never forget that the brother he had loved had done this to him.
He was my brother, Benji his name. He saw things different, he was my shame. And I said goodbye, I said farewell. I took my hammer, my ticket to hell.
Excuse me. Benji?
The locals got angry, left traps out for him. Easy to blame Benji, my mother's favorite son. He thought we were playing, that was a lie.
Sorry to be moving you around like this.
He was my brother, Benji his name. He saw things different, he was my shame. And I said goodbye, I said farewell. I took my hammer, my ticket to hell.
Okay, the fish is free now, but so is Benji's soul. The whole experience gives Hazel some new empathy for her mama and her social work. After making space for Benji's trauma, she feels like she needs a way to decompress.
She never really felt like she helped enough. Do you think I did enough for Benji?
Fishy ends up taking us for a ride as we pass a giant covered in trees. A giant gator that's not to be messed with, lest we want to fill its belly. Two-Toed Tom's is his name. We go to the church to see what can be done with him as Fishy tries to find out more about Mama.
Something's gotta change. I feel like a thread being pulled far too taut, trying to make the world a better place. Not for me, for her. I have to keep these kids safe. I wish I could do more.
That sounds so hard. Mama must have seen some pretty messed up stuff. I struggled with just seeing what Benji went through.
As we ring the church bell, Two-Toed Tom shows us his man-eating face. It's no good. As we find Lan, we find Crouton, Mama's childhood plush to help us traverse through tiny areas on our adventure. Not too far from here is a home with two swell ladies. It's where Mama was helping out before the flood happened. Inside, they mentioned her mom having friends that could be helping her, but if Hazel doesn't know who they are, it's probably best they don't say who. The nice lady mentions being close to Two-Toed Tom before. He was this giant monster.
Two-Toed Tom wasn't always a giant alligator. He started out as a pet of old Farmer Swoops, who'd starve his own kin so they'd behave. Tom's trouble began when Jolene Swope started earning. Old Farmer Swope knew it was a matter of time before she'd run away. When Jolene moved out, mean old Swopes come round to force her to come home. He starved poor Tom, so that when Swopes rang the dinner bell, Tom went crazy with hunger. Jolene was scared, all right. But she was done being scared of what her daddy was gonna do to her.
That little alligator can't be the same one that's chasing me.
Poor Tom had cried from hunger all the nights his supper was taken. Some say he once bit his own toes off for something to eat. Imagine when Jolene rang his dinner bell and he saw old Swope just laying there all juicy.
Oh, Jolene. Who did it?
Jolene's guilt got the best of her, despite telling herself it wasn't murder. If her daddy didn't punish her and Tom all those years, they wouldn't have done what they did. She vowed to dedicate herself to good works and let the Lord sort it out.
Can't believe Jolene's the one who set Two-Toed Tom free.
That's crazy. All for the love of her gator. She shielded him from being punished, and a taste of blood got him feral. The pain must weigh on her for all this travesty. But Hazel's able to strike down Tom. But she swallowed inside before she can finish him off. There it is, the wound that needs to be healed. Once outside, Hazel notices a red yarn, a sign of hugging Molly. And who is hugging Molly? Well, we're gonna have to find out. Apparently, Bunny has a hit on whoever this Molly person is. We're at her weekend house that's filled with secrets. Man, I wish I was rich enough to have a weekend house.
She doesn't talk about Dad much. Nice to know they didn't care what Bunny thought.
Parents always have a favorite, even if they don't admit it. Bunny's favorite was her daughter Cherie, whom she'd hoped to groom into a force surpassing her own one day.
She wasn't watching her either.
Even before the accident, Hazel's dad knew Bunny didn't care for him. When his sister got her dress dirty, he was punished for letting it happen. He didn't complain life was unfair. That's just how things was.
Poor Dad.
When his sister got her dress dirty again, Trey tried to rinse her off in the water. I don't believe Hazel's dad meant to do it. He just didn't count on how slippery she'd be. Bunny never forgave him. In a way, Trey lost his sister and his mama that day.
Oh, no.
A bunch of familial pain and hurt that's never been resolved. Sad, really.
You just can't get enough of my hospitality.
I'm sorry. I need to find Hug and Molly.
Do you? What would you want with Hug and Molly?
She took my mama. Her red yarn was all over our house.
Bunny knows what her granddaughter is, a weaver. But how does she know? As she spills the beans on having been a weaver, we learn that her father was once taken by Molly. Molly captures kids and leaves red yarn in their place. They do so to get the attention of weavers.
You don't think
That Molly took your mother to lure you?
We can trust her now. A man named Laurent may know more about Molly, so we're off. But as we tell Fishy about what's going on, he questions Bunny's motives. After all, she's got the blood of a flood.
They say the soul lingers a bit with the body it belonged to. And so it was with Bunny's baby Cherie. Bunny's dream of crafting her daughter into her own likeness, a power spun of unnatural means, was shattered. But she never lost hope she'd bring Cherie back to life someday. She stole the Benji tree's heart for its magic, to keep her daughter trapped here instead of going where it is baby souls go. I don't think she ever considered what Cherie would have wanted.
Did Bunny steal magic from Benji's tree? She must have been desperate.
I'm smelling some forbidden alchemy vibes in this room. But can you blame the poor women? It can't be easy wanting her daughter back.
Sorry I woke you up, baby Sherry. You hush now. Going back to sleep, okay?
See, nothing's ever really lost.
Laurent and Mama knew each other. He made a delicious meal for her when Hazel was young. While she's there, he curses Bunny's flood's name. She's not who she appears to be. She's no good. She shouldn't be asking questions, but she emotionally blackmails him for abandoning Mama and them. But something strange befalls him as she does so.
Nothing. It's me. It's always me.
Laurent?
Hazel, no! I'm not safe. Get out!
Oh boy, just what kind of mess did we walk ourselves into? As he flies away, we learn just why Laurent is so avoidant.
Each time Laurent saw that sawmill boss drive by in a fancy car, he felt like a knife was twisting in his belly, cutting deeper each time. That man wouldn't even miss the money that could have saved Laurent's mama.
Rich folks don't never judge.
A child's heart ain't big enough for all the sorrows that want to fill it. With a doctor, Laurent's mama might have lived, but Daddy only got paid to accompany script. And doctors only took cash money.
Mom always said Laurent had a tough childhood.
Daddy barely got out of bed or washed most days now. Laurent had to catch their dinner or go hungry. He was all alone, trying to press down on a wound too deep to mend.
Poor Laurent. He had to grow up too fast.
On his mama's birthday, Laurent ran away, crying out like a wounded owl. Daddy always warned him not to show his pain. You got to hide it, Daddy said. Push it down and bury it. But in the heart of the woods, Laurent found himself consumed by it.
Sometimes I want to go into the woods and holler too.
We climb a battered up home and purify the stigma inside of him.
Laurent missed his mama so much he couldn't stand it. He went to fight the factory boss at Teleball, but his daddy tried to stop him. And when his daddy saw the death of Laurent's pain, that's when he got mad. The boss was always afraid of his workers. That's why he kept a gun in his office. He didn't mean for it to go off. Probably. Didn't stop the bullet from punching through Daddy's skull, ending his life in a blink. With his daddy's blood dripping down his chin, Laurent couldn't hold his feelings in anymore. They burst through his skin like feathers. His anguish seemed to lift him up into the air. The terrified sawmill boss drove away as fast as his fine car would go. Laurent flew after him, carried aloft by currents of his own torment.
After learning of his trauma, Hazel tries to reason to help, but he just can't hear her. He's back to normal. Hazel has her chance to make amends for her words that struck his heart like daggers.
I try to keep it pushed down. I don't want to hurt nobody, especially you and Lace.
I mean, I remember her laughing a lot when you were around. She was happy then. I could tell.
It's been ages hiding this shame and hurt inside. But then Lacey saw me, flaws and all. She still cared. Felt like juggling broken glass. I was just so scared I was gonna mess things up. I just pushed her away.
I think that hurt her more.
Laurent gives us all we need to know to find Hugging Molly, for Mama's sake. He turns to his other form to fly us on over. In the mountains, a strange, kinda loony man greets us. Surprisingly, she knows all about Hugging Molly and the flesh she's taken. And he's the only person she hasn't tormented.
Oh, sure don't, sure don't. You can see every place old Molly terrorized and more. Now for the low, low price of $1.
You take debit?
One by one, Itchy's school friends changed. They talked about Miss Molly, that old recluse who nobody'd ever laid eyes on. But them brave enough to venture into her house on the hill came back with toys and treats and clothes that weren't hammered down. Itchy couldn't help but reckon about all the possibilities. His old pappy beat him out, live in the hollow, calloused hands and hearts. Every grown-up Itchy turned to treated children like nails awaiting a hammer. His pappy, well, he did worse. Come night, Itchy dreamed about peculiar angels who'd enfold his aching body into their soft, heavy wings.
That's so heartbreaking.
Everyone called it an accident, but Itchy's eyes hung on a red yarn wrapped around the body. The morning prior, he'd swung by the house on the hill, but hadn't found the soul. Strings of red had led him to a crackling fire, where he'd spilled his secrets, even those about his pappy. Today, the summer heat roasted his pappy on the concrete.
Red yarn. Just like the trailer.
With his pappy gone, it was only natural Itchy would do what he'd been raised to do. He blamed himself. If only he hadn't spilled his guts to Miss Molly, maybe the man who hurt him could have found something to love him. He sought some divine absolution for his guilt, but someone else would listen.
Itchy shouldn't have had to bear that guilt. It ain't his fault.
That's crazy. It's worse than crazy. That's literally child abuse.
Just one question. Why didn't she take you?
He tells her it's because when she tried to, he put up the fight of his life and won too. But his story doesn't add up, so she asks again. But even more gently. He says the school friends that were taken, they wanted to be taken.
And I do yell out, I wish Molly took me too. Could have if I chose, but I didn't neighbor much with courage.
Itchy. You're just a kid.
There's something a little strange if you dig through Molly's house before she was run out of town into the mountains. A letter. Someone wrote to her, a child, begging Molly for some food. They're starved with no sight from their mama or daddy being able to tend to them. Inside Molly's mountain, she plays a trick on us. A play of sorts. It's Hazel's house. And
that's... Mama. What is all this? Wait.
is this a taunt that Molly has what we want? Hazel angrily rushes to go and save her mama. Inside a cocoon of red strings, it's Mama, but she's despondent. As Hazel's heart breaks seeing her mom so vulnerable, rage consumes her.
It was you.
It was you!
But the monster got away, but not before dropping Mama's locket. With it, we see a glimpse into what happened to her. She mentions Molly as a healer?
Molly was healing you?
A child is appalled at Hazel. It's a missing kid, telling Hazel that Mama was bringing kids to Molly to be healed, and now she's hurt her. As we catch up to Molly,
What are you doing? Wait, no! She's a friend. She saved my mom. She's healing her.
Oh, I know. And now, she will save my daughter.
Stop! 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 You're hurting her!
She deserves the world! So much like your mother. But you're just like my feckless son. A mistake.
more dream sequences of a man, but his voice is familiar. It's the same voice from the fog when we got the bottle at the beginning of the story. He tells us to meet him at the cabaret. She's there with him, waiting for Hazel.
She's gone. She's gone and it's all my fault.
Fishy checks in on her as she shares the pain she's carrying, all the trouble she's been causing lately for losing Mama, but she remembers the dream she just had. It's the right-hand man of Kushma, Rue. He's hidden in the land of dreams.
I had to miss Hazel's last track meet on account of taking on some extra work. Uniforms, spikes, travel fees are expensive. She loves to run. Says it feels like flying down the street. I just wish I could be there to see her.
You'll be there. You're gonna see everything I do. I'm gonna come get you, and we're gonna leave Kushma's place together.
We arrive at a glowing stone wall as a strange tree creature approaches us, They begin to play until they fall right asleep, but they're awoken by a strange scream.
When Iotunde caught wind of whispers about the thriving, freed settlement in the swamps nearby, hope bloomed in her heart. She dreamed of a better future for her son than what waited them upriver. So when Bella Prospero drifted closer to the swampy shores, Iotunde risked everything.
Oh! What the hell? We gotta get out of here!
Iotunde plunged into the unknown for the sake of her baby. But upon shore, she was pursued by the crew and stumbled in the darkness. With her heart pounding, she bit back the urge to cry out to him, gritting her teeth raw to seal her sob. If caught, no one would save her baby.
That's her haunting these swamps.
Once the crew vanished, she tore through the night, fighting through the thick undergrowth to find her lost baby. Gripped by despair, she hummed a lullaby softly, hoping against hope for her baby's giggles to pierce the icy air. But that swamp, it just kept stretching on and on, till a peculiar lantern flickered into view, right beside his tiny mud-streaked blanket.
Iotunde lost her baby
But there was no baby left to be found, not anymore. And the wail of grief that echoed through the swamp was so raw and monstrous that the captain ran the boat aground in his panic.
Sometimes I feel like I could tear the world apart too.
Iotunde never gave up searching for her baby, and the search changed her. She didn't know this was a magical swamp, or that a giant flower had sheltered her baby and kept him safe. The crew in their last moments were stunned to see this monstrous creature smashing the boat in her rage, like an angel of vengeance. She went so deep into her grief she couldn't see the light in the darkness. Another peculiar lantern, searching for her, offering hope. Iotunde never did find her lost baby.
She never stopped looking. All this time, she never gave up.
You guessed it, our leafy new friend here is the lost baby trying to find their mama.
Mama will be there in the morning. Mama will be there in the
Me next. Me and Mama next.
A strange figure comes from the distance. Fishy warns us not to follow shaking bones. It'll only lead us to suffering. But we can't stop now. We're so close to seeing Mama again. There's no other choice. At the end of the ride, we get lost in a creepy, looping woods. After a few loops to where we started, there it is. A sign of Rue. Inside is all of our stuff. Our phone rings. It's Mama. But also Rue, threatening us to come after him if we want to see her.
Come to the stage, my dear.
After Rue's little song and dance, he gives us a key that will lead us to Mama if we can offer him a favor later. One he makes no mention of what exactly. Inside the mysterious door, we're transported back to the start of the game. But this time, Hazel fights her Mama to follow her to safety. Nothing changes.
No, Mama! Mama! I'm sorry. I wasn't fast enough. I tried.
It's a trick. Rue is up to something as we're transported to a lame replica of our home. Rue is trying to hunt down someone strong enough to satiate Kushma's hunger. Mama is here, stuck in a loop of her suffering. The only way to save her is to take out Kushma. There's a letter, blaming Hazel for Mama's pain.
Don't fucking tease me, asshole. She loves me, and I'm gonna find her. You fucking bastard! No. I will save her. Ma, can you hear me?
Oh no. Oh God. Hazel! Hazel, please, it isn't safe!
Ma, I'm right here.
Hazel, you cannot make that jump! Hazel!
Mama?
Baby. My baby.
This ends now. Get to the bottle tree!
Finish it!
This place again?
As the fight ends, Rue lets us know Mama is safe back home, but Hazel still owes him a favor. There's a hairbrush to be delivered, to no one but Bunny Flood. But why her? You see, Bunny wasn't supposed to be a weaver. She forced herself into becoming one. A false stitcher filled with dark magic that corrupts everything around her. The hairbrush sends people off to Kushma. He's not going to be sealed away by Hazel's meddling for long, so she must send Bunny's insatiable grief to the hungry demon.
Ma? Mama?
Hazel!
Mama! I thought you were gone.
You ran and ran until you found me. Oh, my brave, brave girl.
I didn't mean what I said when we argued. I'm sorry.
I love you, my little bug.
I love you too. Is that Molly's heart?
Why didn't it work? It should have brought Sherry back.
You can't bring back the dead.
You did something, didn't you? That's why the magic failed.
I heard your baby spirit crying. In a tree. She was in pain. I did everything I could to help her.
In pain? Or just in your way? You have no idea what loss feels like. When Cherie drowned, I was so raw it hurt to breathe. I'd see cars with those baby on board signs and just want to... Cherie's baby brush. Now I'd give anything to brush her hair again.
And you can, my darling.